How are ya, TikTakers? Our favorite time of the day is night, when the temperature drops, the sky darkens. The perfect environment to enjoy videos like the chilling games of the elevator and the stairs, the Japanese Ouija, baby blue, or the terrifying Daruma-san ritual. Enjoy the video. A ritual of a Korean origin that takes you to an unknown dimension to contact spirits. If you are the kind of person that has always felt like exploring other dimensions, this is your challenge. You only need to go through a simple procedure to move to a different world, completely dark and spooky. The requirements you need to meet to play this game are quite simple, especially if you live in a city. When you live in the countryside, it gets a bit more difficult. The thing is, you need to be inside a building with an elevator at least 10 floors high. It's important that you are alone in the elevator, and it's better if you try it when there is not many people passing by, so you don't have neighbors calling the elevator. If this happens, you have to start over again. So if you're brave enough to play, we recommend that you grab some paper and a pencil to make notes. These steps you need to go through are a bit confusing. The first thing you gotta do to try and get to the other dimension is get on the elevator on the first floor. Then, you have to press the button for the fourth floor. Once the elevator gets there, you have to press the button for the second floor and so go back down. When you are in the second floor, you have to press the button for the sixth floor. You have to wait, and then when you get to the sixth floor, you press the second floor button again. Once there, you have to press the button for the 10th floor. And when you reach the 10th floor, press the button for the 5th floor. Right when you reach the 5th floor, a mysterious woman can get on the elevator and try to draw your attention. According to the rules of the game, we have to ignore her completely. She's a spirit trying to disorientate the player and take him to a terrible dimension. Now, you have to press floor number 1. If at that point the elevator decides to take you to the 10th floor, get ready. That means you've done it all right. When the doors of the 10th floor open, you can either get off the elevator or stay inside. If you chose to get out of it and the woman had gone in on the 5th floor, she's gonna ask you, which floor are you going to? Don't answer. Don't look at her. You will know you made it to the other world thanks to a sign, and only one sign. The only person there will be you. You'll be in the same building, but in a different dimension. And not all dimensions are the same. You can make it to a peaceful one, but also to a very dangerous one. All the lights will be off, and the only thing you'll be able to see through the windows is a red cross in the distance. Some people say electronic devices such as cell phones or cameras don't work in the other world. Some others say they do. It's not really clear. In order to go back to your right dimension, if you stay inside the elevator, the only thing you have to do is press the button for the first floor. If it doesn't work, keep pressing until it does work. When the elevator reaches the first floor, you have to leave as soon as the doors open. No looking back, no talking. If you choose to get off the elevator on the 10th floor, you have to repeat exactly the same process again from the same elevator. Only that, instead of taking you to the 10th floor, the elevator will leave you on the first floor. Seems simple, huh? The only bad thing is if you get tired of exploring, or if you happen to be in danger and need to run away. As we have just told you, you need to take the same steps again. That means starting from the first floor. So you have to go down the stairs of the other dimension. Down the stairs 10 floors. Sounds more complicated now, doesn't it? Those who have played this ritual game recommend not doing it under any circumstances. Fear takes control of you. As a consequence, you start getting lost, and the fear of not being able to go back to your dimension gets really intense. It is important to stay focused. If you remember Lisa Lamb's video, one of the hypotheses behind her weird behavior and her disappearance was that she was trying to take part in this game. What do you think? Would you dare to go to a different dimension? Are you gonna try? The Baby Blue game is a very popular bravery challenge on the internet. It's one of the darkest that we have read, and it seems very dangerous, so we recommend that you don't try it. To be able to play, we only need a bathroom that contains a sink, a mirror, and a door that closes. It can only be played at night when everyone is asleep. You have to go into the bathroom, turn off the lights, and close the door. The darkness has to be total. From this step, there are 2 ways to play. The first is to stand in front of the mirror and position your arms as if you were rocking a baby. Delicately, you have to swing your arms back and forth as if cradling. While doing this, you have to repeat the phrase "baby blue, blue baby" 13 times without making a mistake. If we make a mistake, we have to start over. The second way to play is similar to the previous one. In total darkness, we open the hot water tap until the whole bathroom is filled with steam. Once the steam fogs up the mirror, we turn off the water, and with one finger we have to write "baby blue" on the mirror 13 times as well. If done right in any way, we can suddenly start to feel a weight in the arms as if it were an invisible baby. We shouldn't be alarmed, but we should remain alert. The baby will get heavier and heavier as he grows bigger and bigger. We may feel how it moves or that it scratches our arms. It's the moment. Before it gets too heavy, we must quickly take the invisible baby, throw it down the toilet, flush, run out of the bathroom, and turn on all the lights you can, so that the specter dematerializes. If we don't do it fast enough, a horrible woman will appear in the mirror and scream at us, "Give me back my baby!" Her scream is loud and high-pitched enough to break glass. If we continue to hold the baby, we will be in mortal danger. Some people believe that the woman is Bloody Mary who lost her child. If we get out of the bathroom unharmed, we've been lucky. We won. On the internet, there is an urban legend of a group of girls who discovered the baby blue game and decided to try it. They didn't think it would work, so they put their friend Mary in the bathroom. She turned off the lights and closed the door behind her. Mary held out her arms, looked into the mirror, and began to sing the phrase, "Baby blue, blue baby." Suddenly, she began to feel as if her arms, her face, her eyes were being scratched. Mary was scared and had no idea what to do. She wanted to run away and leave everything, but she was afraid of what could happen to her, so she stood there holding the baby. As time passed, the baby became heavier and heavier. When Mary's friends heard her scream, they tried to open the bathroom door, but it was locked. Finally, they managed to break down the door and found Mary lying on the bathroom floor. Her eyes were slanted. They tried to move her body, but they couldn't. She was too heavy. It seemed that something large and invisible was holding her to the ground. You already know that we love to investigate all kinds of creepy games on the web, but as always, we recommend you not to play these games. You never know what can go wrong. Today, we're going to talk about a terrifying Japanese game. Daruma-san's game, also known as the bathtub game, is inspired by a children's game called Daruma-san ga koronda, which means Daruma doll fell down. Daruma dolls are actually traditional figures symbolizing good luck and fortune. The Daruma-san in this game isn't exactly like that. Legend says that Daruma was a young Japanese woman who died in her bath. She tripped and hit her head on the edge of the bathtub while she was taking a bath and lost an eye when she hit the faucet. The game is similar to what in Spain is known as 1, 2, 3 English hide and seek. In the dark version, we are the ones counting while Daruma-san is the one trying to catch us. There are several versions of the game. Today we're going to talk about the most widespread. In order to play, we must make sure that we're alone at home after midnight and we have to have a bathtub. The first thing we have to do is prepare the bath. We started to fill the bathtub with cold water. I'm sorry if you thought you were going to take a relaxing bath. Here we have come to play. In order not to freeze, we recommend doing it in the spring-summer season, where the temperature is more pleasant. Once we have the bathtub full, we undress as we normally do. Turn off the lights and get inside and sit in the middle in front of the tap. We have to close our eyes, and you have to wash your head, neck, shoulders, arms, and repeat the phrase, "Daruma-san fell down, Daruma-san fell down," all the time without stopping. You have to concentrate and keep your eyes closed. If you have done it right, what will happen next will leave you breathless. You will feel the sensation of a blow. You shouldn't open your eyes and keep repeating the words. You may feel Daruma's head resting on your shoulder or strange movements in the water, but don't open your eyes. You have summoned Daruma. If you hear any noise, don't turn around and don't open your eyes. Ask out loud, "Why did you fall in the bathtub?" Don't wait for an answer. Now is the time to get up and end our bath, being careful not to fall because you will have to do it with your eyes closed. Get out of the bathtub and dry yourself very well. Put on closed slippers that hold your foot. We don't want you to slip. Don't empty the bathtub. Get out of the bathroom and close the door. Now we can open our eyes and go to our room, but without turning on the lights. We put on our pajamas and go to bed to sleep as we would any day. The next morning, the game will have started as soon as we open our eyes. Daruma's ghost will start following you throughout the day. You will feel a constant presence behind you. If you turn around, you won't see anything. However, if you look over your right shoulder, you might see her. Her hair will be black and tangled, and she will only have one eye. She will try to get closer and closer to you as the day goes on. We can know if she's close by the nauseating smell she gives off or by the whispers she emits. If you start to feel uncomfortable, yell "tomare," which is stop in Japanese, and Daruma will stop for a moment that you should take advantage of to run. But no matter how hard you run, Daruma will find you sooner or later. Don't let her catch you. You have to finish the game before midnight and you have to be fast. You must turn to Daruma, look at her and yell "kita" and let you go in Japanese. While you raise your hand and move it up and down, similar to a karate chop. If you have done it correctly, you will have won. Daruma will be gone. But if you haven't done it right, run. We love discovering all kinds of spooky games, but we don't recommend playing Daruma. You never know what can go wrong. If you decide to try it, we advise you to be very careful TikTakers, especially when you get out of the bathtub. Don't slip. Kokuri or Kokuri-san is a Japanese game through which a spirit is invoked to ask questions about our future. This game is very similar to Ouija, although it is less dangerous. Its name comes from the spirit that is invoked through the game. Kokuri is an animal spirit of the Shinto religion that has characteristics of 3 animals: the fox, the dog, and the raccoon. Thus, Kokuri is a wise spirit like the fox, but also a trickster and joker, protective and loyal like a dog, and mischievous like a raccoon. For this reason, one must be careful with the questions that are asked of this spirit and not to take the answers too seriously. It may be kidding. Playing the Kokuri-san game is very simple. All you need is a blank sheet of paper, markers, and a coin, preferably 10 yen. Oh, and there has to be at least 3 people to play. At the top of the paper, more or less in the center, a torii or a traditional Japanese gate is drawn in red. It is through this symbol that the spirit of Kokuri can visit you. With another color on both sides of the torii are written the words yes and no in Japanese. Below this, placed in a row, are written the numbers from 0 to 9 and then the Japanese syllabary hiragana. Before starting the session, you must open a door or window in the room where you are going to play so that Kokuri-san can pass through. The coin is placed on the torii and all participants place a finger on the coin. You can't get your finger off the coin in the whole game. To summon the spirit, you must say out loud, "Kokuri-san, Kokuri-san, if you're there, please move this coin." When the coin moves, Kokuri-san will answer the questions. To end the session, you have to ask Kokuri-san to leave with the words, "Kokuri-san, Kokuri-san, please come home." If the spirit wants to leave, the coin will move to yes and then the torii symbol. If not, the game continues until Kokuri-san wants to leave. Once Kokuri-san is gone, destroy the sheet of paper. The best way is to break it into 48 pieces and dissolve it in a solution of water and salt. You can also throw the pieces into the sea. Another way to get rid of the paper is by burning it. It is recommended to spend the coin within 3 days of the session. Staying with it brings bad luck. The Kokuri-san game became very popular among Japanese teenagers, and high schools even banned the game due to the episode of mass hysteria that occurred. The boys were so scared that they were causing trouble in the schools. Japanese popular culture echoed the phenomenon, so much so that fiction based on the Kokuri-san began to appear. We're talking about the Gugure manga. Kokuri-san, written by Midori Endo and whose anime adaptation was carried out by Yoshimasa Hiraike. Fiction tells the adventure of Kohina Ichimatsu, a 9-year-old girl who summons the spirit of Kokuri-san. At first, the spirit wants to torment her, but ends up worrying about her and her problems with food. There is also Kokuri-san Planchette, a manga for adults with detectives and paranormal cases. Kokuri-san's game is not as dangerous as Ouija, through which you can communicate with the spirits of all kinds. Kokuri, despite being mischievous, is a benevolent spirit. Even so, it is said that sometimes it can be dangerous and that other types of malevolent spirits can cross the door. Do you dare to play? It is a sinister ritual that has been on forums for some time, and we hadn't told you yet about how dangerous it is. But lots of you have insisted, so here it is. However, we definitely do not recommend you to put it into practice, and if you do, please be very careful. For this game, you only need to meet a couple of simple requirements. You can do it at any time of the day, but for it to work better, it's best if you do it at night or with not a lot of light. We can't take with us any object or weapon to protect us, only a cloth or blindfold to cover our eyes so we can't see anything at all. That will keep us safe. And last but not least, obviously we will need a flight of steps. It doesn't really matter how many. To start the ritual, we have to stand in front of the lowest step and say these words aloud. I come before you today, Lucifer. Open the gates of your kingdom for me. You gotta say those words 6 times to be blessed and be able to trespass the threshold of the game. Then you have to breathe deeply to gather all your strength and then cover your eyes with a blindfold that keeps you from seeing anything at all around you. And then finally, we step forward and we start going upstairs. We'll count one by one the steps we take until we reach the end. This part is very important. We have to remember the number we've got. Then we'll turn around and go back downstairs. All the steps, again counting one by one until we reach the end. And it's now that we are in a point of no return. If the number of steps we counted on our way down was the same as on our way up, we've done it wrong, and we'll have to try again, starting over from the first step. However, if we have counted one more step, we gotta get ready, because our trip to the underworld is actually starting. We'll go upstairs again, and it will be the same number of steps we counted in the beginning. But then, on our way down, we'll see the number of steps has increased again. And so it will keep increasing in the next descents. The chilling reality is that with every step, we're getting closer and closer to the underworld. We have to walk firmly and never look through the blindfold, whatever happens. We might also hear a noise around, like the cracking of walls, fire whispers, or objects falling down. But still, we have to be calm and we mustn't feel fear. The duration of the trip will depend on the kind of person we are and how many sins we've committed. Depending on the evil in our souls, it will be easier or harder for us to reach the underworld. The descent will get longer and longer, and we will start feeling it's hot around us, as well as a strange and very unpleasant smell. We have to pay no attention to this and keep walking down. When we reach the bottom, suddenly we will hear a deep voice that will ask us, "What is it that you want?" A mysterious entity will appear in front of us to offer or to make anything we desire come true. In that precise moment, we have to stay calm, breathe deeply, and ask with no fear for what we want. Once this is done, we'll have to turn back and go upstairs until there is no more left, until we leave the underworld. Only then, and not earlier, we will take the blindfold off and we will breathe calm because the game is over. If you've done it right, whatever you've asked for will become true. But remember, you have to follow to the letter all these instructions and don't let yourself panic. If you don't do it right, if you fall, or if you interrupt the ritual in the middle of it, you run the risk of getting trapped in the underworld forever.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it. And if you want to see more Draw My Life videos, subscribe to our channel. See you in the next episode!